Hey folks, Brendan here from Bluelight. Now, if you're in the police recruitment process or you're looking to join the police in the future, how are you going to avoid getting stuck in the talent pool? Now, you're probably not even aware of the fact that a talent pool exists. So in this short video, I'm going to talk to you about what the talent pool is and why you should avoid it at all costs, because it does sound like something that's actually quite attractive. So I've been coaching and supporting people to succeed in the police recruitment process now for over 10 years. I've been involved in coaching and supporting people to succeed in promotion boards and specialist interviews now for 26 years. I know my way around the police recruitment process. I know my way around how the police service operates. And one of the things that they like to do is they like to select the top scoring candidates. Now, this is nothing new. I've failed interviews in the past, despite being on paper one of the best candidates. Another candidate for a position I went for years ago as a sergeant in the underwater search unit beat me by 1 mark, and so he was the one that got selected. And this is a perfectly normal thing to do. I mean, is there anything surprising about that? You're going to select the top scoring candidates to go through to the next stage, and exactly the same thing happens in police recruitment. So what can happen is, although the pass mark might be, let's say, 55% for an assessment centre, forces can choose to set their own pass mark. The highest I've ever seen was Cambridgeshire Constabulary more than several years ago. At the start of austerity, when everyone stopped recruiting, Cambridgeshire opened up their recruitment window, and although at the time the pass mark for the National Assessment Centre was 50%, you had to get 86% to get through to the next stage. How do I know that? Well, I had a client who got 85% and she didn't get through to the next stage, but one of her friends who got 86% did get through to the next stage, had the final interview and succeeded. So it's all about supply and demand. And so what a lot of forces do, because they get thousands of applications and thousands of people go through to the assessment centre, is they put them in a talent pool. What a talent pool is basically exactly what's on the side of the tin. This is the potential talent, and here's a pool of them. And they will select from that pool to go to the next stage individuals who score the highest. Now, forces won't readily admit that they're doing this. Some forces have even been brazen enough to tell some of my clients that, of course, no, we don't do that. We select people in the order that they apply, which isn't true, because the forces that have said that, I know it's not true, because these are individuals who've been waiting post-assessment centre for the opportunity to have an interview for over a year, whereas other clients who applied to exactly the same force who scored higher have got offered an interview within months. Some forces have been really open. I'm not going to name and shame the forces here, and have said to their candidates that it is unlikely that you're going to progress to the next stage, which is vetting and fitness and medical. It's very much the last stage. They've already done the online assessment centre. They've already done their interview. It's unlikely that we are going to progress you for another year, which means that their talent pool is absolutely chocker. Some forces, their talent pool is so big that they've been honest enough to say to their candidates, look, there's very little chance of you being recruited in the near future. Why don't you transfer your application to neighbouring forces who are actually accepting applications at this moment in time? And there's other forces that are honest enough and upfront, because they can't be bothered with a talent pool, who will just write to you at the end of the process to say, congratulations, you passed your online assessment centre, you passed your interview. However, your scores weren't high enough to guarantee you a place in the next intake. We would welcome an application from you in the future when we next open up our recruitment window, which kind of seems bonkers, really, because they're going to make them do exactly all of the same thing all over again. But it must be that they just simply can't be bothered with a talent pool. So they do exist. They've been existing for over a decade that I've been helping to support people through the recruitment process. I've seen them come, go, but they're consistent, they're there. Some forces are open about them, some forces don't admit that they've got them, but they do exist, talent pools. You don't want to be in a talent pool for very long. where the only escape route can be what one of my clients did before COVID, when the Search Assessment Centre was up and running. She got in the top 50s. That was her score on the Search Assessment Centre, and she was just stuck in the talent pool. She'd been there for a year, and so the only way out was to apply to join another force. So she did. She resat the Search Assessment Centre. She's got a score in the high 60s, and then went back to her force and said, what about this? Can I go through to the next stage? They took her out of the talent pool, put her through to the next stage, and she's now been a constable for over 2 years. So there's several ways out of the talent pool if you find yourself stuck in it. The best way of making sure you don't get stuck in the talent pool is to make sure you score really, really, really high marks. That's what we're after. I see so many people just saying, what do I need to do to pass? I'm not interested in what do I need to do to pass. Just getting a pass isn't enough. You need to really excel and get the highest marks possible. And that's where my courses come in. It's a shameless plug here, but I guarantee that you will pass, otherwise you'll get a refund. I also can pretty much guarantee that you're going to get a really, really high score. If you apply yourself and you practice the things that I show you, you are going to get a high score. That's just the way it works. If your first rehearsal for your interview or online assessment centre is your interview or online assessment centre, it's highly likely that you're either going to fail or just scrape through. We are after high marks so that we don't even see the inside of a talent pool. We just get hopped, skipped and jumped through to the next stage. So there's the links below, folks, to find out, discover more. And you might be thinking, I don't know this guy, I'm not going to invest in one of his courses because I don't know enough about him. Well, that's perfectly fair. Come and join the Bluelight Facebook group. There's no commitment there. It's completely free, and there's almost 20,000 members. People just like you who've succeeded in the past. People just like you who are going through the recruitment process at the moment. Come and join the group, see what people are saying, and hopefully I'll see you on one of my webinars very soon, where I will show you how to ensure that you skip the talent pool stage. I'll catch up with you soon, folks. Bye-bye for now.